Travis Bowling.
Hello, YouTube. Today in a storytelling mood, I hope. Well, today I'm telling you a story of how, pixies and other creatures of the sorts like goblins, orcs, elves, how they get their Christmas during this time of year. Or how they get presents, specifically, more likely. Or who visits them during this holiday season. Depends on how you look at it. But anyway, it all started long ago, when St. Nicholas was busy as usual, giving his presents to all. But when there was like 7 billion humans, plus all the other creatures that hide among them, it's not that easy getting presents to 7 billion people in the world. Plus, that's more. So, after some time, he got a contact with some help. And this man was named, was Zach. Zach Runham. Zach Runham delivered presents with Santa. It was very fun and nice for them for quite some time. But unlike Santa, unfortunately for Zach, he still aged until he passed on, which was unfortunate. Santa Claus began planning to find a new person to take care of delivering presents to the fairies, pixies, and so forth. But before he could, because of Zach's willful heart and determination to deliver presents to all the creatures of fantasy, he arisen again as a zombie. Now I bet you're like, wait a minute, that's usually evil and dangerous. Not in this odd case. His soul is still pure as ever, of a beacon of light that you sometimes can still see when just like when he arisen. You say, when and he rises every year from the grave. His soul beams like a beacon of light to all the creatures of fantasy. And he started running about like a maniac, like bag in hand, boxes away, and starts throwing them around. And as he gets to each house at zooming speeds, that looks like a blur, or even just a flash, they say. He delivers his good toys to all the good hood fairies and goblins out there, and gives hope and joy just like Santa Claus. Only that he's running about out in a way that you'll never see. Now I bet it's odd to tell a story of a zombie Santa, basically, but we call him Z, and that's what he is. A zipping, or I guess you could say you can call him the counterpart of Santa. That when people use the idea of replacing S with Z, he's Xanta. He's Xanta. That's hard to say. But either way, this holiday season, I hope you remember, fantasy or not, only the good boys and girls get their gifts. And so, you better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout, because it might bother the Mr. Z. I'd be kidding. I'm terrible at rhyming, if you can't tell. But, now let's get into the point. Which I bet you're wondering, wait a minute, I thought this was the end of the story. Oh, no. Oh, no. Although he does arise from like a slumber from his graveyard, which is up in the North Pole beside Santa Claus's workshop. He rises from that every day, like the happy vampire, they say. And when it's time to run about, Howdy usually goes right after Santa, because he doesn't want to take the spotlight usually. He usually leaves the spotlight for Santa. That's why I won't see him nor hear him. And even the fantasy creatures tend to forget he exists. Now, how do I know of him? That's another story for another time, I would say. Now, why does he come the way he does? I'd say it's because it makes sense. Because the reality is, in this world or any world, fantasy or not, you should not judge based on race. And he's a perfect representation. Because he's a zombie, and most people say zombies are terrifying monstrosities that eat your flesh. Not this zombie. No. So, have a wonderful holiday season. Give smiles to those around you. Remember to keep an eye out for the fairies if you want to catch one. Be friendly to those around you, black or not, Asian or not, or whatever you may be. And remember, the stories you know and what you are told is not always as they seem. And remember, magic is what you make it. Boom.